Ambassador Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Speaker, I also rise to support these amendment bills and the financial markets, in particular the Financial Markets Regulators and Kiwi Savers Bill and the Securities Trustees Statutory Supervisors Bill. Mr Speaker, unlike the previous, my learned colleague, Mr Parker, these bills will make a difference. They will make a difference to the confidence and trust in our financial markets, in our capital markets, and it is about restoring some of the confidence that's been knocked out of investors, both mum and dad investors, as well as institutional investors in our capital markets because of the finance company failures that we've seen in recent years. Sir, it is when you talk to businesses in the electorates, particularly my electorate of Maunga Kieke, it is about accessing capital. It is about things like the exchange rate. It's about the costs of production. And this bill, with its focus on bringing together the powers of regulating capital markets and financial markets, will make a difference to our capital markets. It will be about boosting economic growth and creating jobs, and it's about providing for a stronger economy through strong and robust financial markets. Sir, as has already been stated by the Minister, the bill makes changes to the functions, duties and powers of the regulating body, and I just want to acknowledge at this point the work of my colleagues on the committee. It was quite a bit of work. We have worked over what seems the whole 2.5 years that we've been in Parliament on securities legislation, and but it's been rewarding. And I think, along with the stakeholders, of the industry, particularly the professional bodies who came in to submit, and with the work of the officials, the hard-working officials, I think we've come to a pretty good piece of legislation here. So, sir, it's about ensuring that the new Financial Markets Authority has the right tools. And one tool I want to talk about in particular, just briefly, sir, is the power for the Financial Markets Authority to exercise the person's right of action. And we've seen through the finance company failures, sir, that these types of rights of individuals to take on companies that have failed, and the directors of those companies and the promoters of those companies, has been quite limited. And so by investing in the regulatory body the power to exercise not just the right of the individual but the rights of companies to take actions in these instances is actually a positive move, and it's one that has been embraced by a number of bodies throughout the industry. So I also want to just touch on the Securities Trustees and Statutory Supervisors part of the legislation, and it's about granting licence applications and receiving mandatory reports from licensed trustees and statutory supervisors. So there is a degree of accountability and a degree of transparency from those who have been given the responsibility of oversight of issuance of securities through the securities legislation. So, sir, this is a positive piece of legislation. It's one that has received widespread support throughout this Parliament, and on that note, I commend it to the House.